Okay. Good evening, everyone. Just make sure.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. Just want to make
Good.
sure that we have enough people on here. As Cynthia and Mr. Mills. Okay. How are you, Councilman Mills? Okay, so I have enough council people to begin this evening, this committee meeting. So good evening. This is Councilwoman Yolanda McCoy. I welcome you to Education, Youth, and Families. It's Wednesday.
Councilwoman, I think he's saying he can't hear something. I see Enid doing something to his ear.
Oh, really?
I should have said that to Wendell. I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Is Director Smith, are you capable of hearing us? Maybe something on his end.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
Director Smith, are you okay? Looks like he's frozen. Yeah, I'm up as loud as I can. Okay. So let me just
Looks like he's muted. He may not know he's muted. I'm sorry.
Okay. So let me just start the intro and then let's find out what's going on with Director Smith.
I can't hear anything.
Okay. You can hear. So Amanda or Wendell, if you're able to direct Director Smith, because I'm actually able to hear everyone else. And it looks like they're able to hear me.
Yes, I'll take care of it, Councilwoman McCoy.
Thank you very much. So again, this is Councilwoman Yolanda McCoy. This is Education, Youth, and Families Committee meeting. Tonight is actually Wednesday, March 9th, and we are here to actually get some information about some of these parks. So I would like to take attendance. If those council members who are present, if you can please present yourself or announce yourself.
Yes, how you doing? Councilwoman Xanthia with 3rd District. Excuse me.
Councilman at Large, Albert Mills.
Okay.
Councilwoman Sinead Darby, 2nd District.
Okay.
Council President Trippi Congo.
Okay. So I thank all those who are actually present. I do see that we have Director Smith will be doing, I guess, quite a few of these presentations. I just want to make certain that he is capable of communicating with us. You're good? Okay,
Yes,
great. All right. So we actually have 3 agenda items this evening, and all of these items actually deal with our Park and Recreation Department. So I just would like to get started with the very first. If you are ready, Director Smith, the very first we have is an update of East Lake Park in the DNC grant. What is this? Okay, I'm sorry, in the DNC grant. So if you wouldn't mind giving us a little bit more information about that, please.
All right. Thank you for having me here today. I want to acknowledge Deputy Director Wayne Jefferson is also here with me. Unable to see him, but he's here as well. Okay, so East Lake, there is $100,000 that's put aside for some work to be done at that park. Right now, that's all that's been put aside. Outside of that, I can tell you that I had an opportunity to meet with some of the residents last week, and Superintendent Lenny Williams is currently in that park within the last week, making some changes in there outside of this particular grant. So that's the update on the $100,000 and a little bit of the work that we're working on right now in that park.
Okay. Actually, I thought that I did see some type of information that was presented. I didn't know whether or not that was something that you were going to put on a slide or anything. Are there any questions from council about the East Lake updates? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. If you wouldn't mind, Councilman Darby, can I allow Marshall Bassnight to ask her question? Make her statement.
And I'm sorry, and it was just a statement, Madam Chair, I just don't want to confuse anyone. I had just resent the information that Mr. Smith had provided earlier in the year regarding the update regarding the 100,000. So that's what you saw earlier, and that's what he spoke to.
Okay. All right. Thank you. But that won't be actually presented, or it won't be a slide or anything.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Councilman Darby, you have a question?
Yes, I do
Councilwoman
have a
Tiffany.
question. My question is more about, will there be some planned community meetings, other than just going there and talking to people, like planned community meetings for people to come out to give their ideas they may have about usage in that park, what the renovations would look like?
Great question. So I would say that the one that we had last week was planned. I used someone connected to the community to reach out to those who actually use the park. So that was the beginning conversation. I could share a little bit of that conversation was in reference to how do we support them with getting organized as a friends of group, and so that their ideas can be presented by a group of people coming from one voice. So outside of that, I am an email that was sent to the Alis, and one of them was present at that meeting, but I am available for whatever community meeting. I just needed to make sure that Parks and Rec is reaching out on our own to make sure that we're developing these relationships outside of whatever other meetings that we would be invited to. So if you were to have a meeting in the community, I definitely would be there. Outside of that, we will continue to reach out and meet with people and just to check the pulse of the community.
Okay, may I follow up, please?
Yes, Ms. Dobbs.
Yes, on the document I have for Eastlake Park, it says that Centera LDT Landscaping Architects are developing conceptual designs already for the park. And I have 2 conceptual designs. I have a design 1, design 2. Has that been shared with the public? And are you able to share it tonight to talk about how those conceptual designs were designed? Like, how do those ideas come about, and how was that specific architect selected already?
Okay, well, I'm not sure what you're looking at. I'm not familiar with that documentation. I am familiar with a survey was conducted of what is currently sitting there, and that would be used for moving forward at any other designs, but I'm not familiar with what you're looking at. So if you were to send that to me, then I can look at that.
Yes, I can share that with you. May I follow up, please?
Yes, you may, Councilman Dobbs.
Yeah, so also on the document I have, it says that some money, that the balance is under 100,000. It says the balance is currently $890,800. What was spent already to where there isn't $100,000 right now?
Well, one, there's a clerical error, but 5,000 was spent, and that is to produce the survey. So the survey that's needed to move forward, that was already taken care of, and that was the survey I just referenced.
Okay, can I get a copy of that survey? I haven't seen that survey at all.
We can make that available.
All right, thank you. And I have one more question. Can I follow up, please?
Yes, you may, Councilwoman.
Yeah, also on this document, it says $300,000 of Parks capital funding is set aside for this project. Through a firm date for completion has yet to be established, it is likely to be completed by late 2022 or spring of 2023. So what is the, in addition to with the $300,000 from the Parks capital funding, what does that mean? And then also, how did you come up, or how did whoever come up with the date estimate for completion of a part of the Eastlake, well, I call it 30th Street Park, a 30th Street Park by late 2022 or spring of 2023?
Well, I'm gonna ask Chief of Staff to support with this because I'm unfamiliar with any document with a completion date for Eastlake Park. So that may be prior to me. Madam Chair, I don't know what the procedure needs to be to acknowledge Chief of Staff's hand.
Okay, Chief of Staff Washington, if you have something to add to this?
Yes, so that was just that 300,000 was theoretically a placeholder that we had in mind if the project was further along and the community knew exactly what they want and there was a conceptual design produced. The fact of the matter is that we are going to the bond market this year to get a new infusion of capital dollars. So, I mean, for most parks, we would add some funding in there. So that was just sort of the number that we put out. In terms of timelines, I don't know where that came from, because this project is not far enough along to establish any timelines.
Okay, thank you very much, Chief of Staff Washington. Did anyone else have any questions about the East Lake Park, or 30th Street Park, as Councilman Darby put it? Okay. Guess that's it. Okay, Councilman Gray.
I just wanted to say that I'm here, acknowledgement.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, please acknowledge that Councilman Gray is present.
Hello, I'm so sorry, my phone service went out. I did not hear anything, but thank you guys. I don't know who you are.
Okay, I've been actually trying to take notes as they were speaking, and also you can always go back over this video.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So I thank you so much for giving us an update about East Lake Park. This is, as Councilman Darby said, is called, I guess she considered it 30th Street Park. And hopefully we will be able to hear more about, I guess, upcoming funds from the bond market. If there are any other questions, let me see whether or not we have anybody asking questions. No other questions from council members? Anyone from the public that has questions on this piece of the agenda? Okay, I have one person. If you can please allow Aisha Ali to speak.
Hello, thank you for having me. So I am one of the members who frequent and use 30th Street, well, East Lake is the former name of the park. And I just had some questions in regards to with the Friends of the East Lake Park. And I've been in contact with Ms. Darby, but I wanted to know in regards to the park about the name change. Is that something that we go through the councilman, or how did I get that name? And then just to get some more information on, I know previously there was an actual Friends committee around the neighborhood. So I wanted to see in regards to like the precedent and different things of that sort. Was there a precedent, and were there any funds left over from the Friends of Committee that was once for that area of East Lake or 30th Street Park?
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Ali. I will definitely make certain that if Director Smith is unable to answer that question, hopefully that we'll be able to get your information. If you wouldn't mind putting your email address in the chat so that we can follow up and send you any type of update about that. When it comes to Friends of East Lake Park, I believe Director Smith did speak on the redevelopment of like putting together Friends of Parks for that area.
Yes,
Okay.
He spoke. My sister actually attended the meeting, but we weren't sure at that time when we had the meeting with Ian. I actually showed up when it was over, but we weren't actually sure on if there was actually a precedent or if there were any funds left over from the previous Friends of that area. And I'm not sure of what their name was. So that is into works to create the Friends of, and I know right now it's handled underneath of the 9th Ward, but I wanted to get more information on the previous one to see what was going on with that as well.
Okay, so if I understand the question correctly, so the Friends of East Lake wouldn't have any connection necessarily to us. So if there is a bank account was created, they were a 503c, we wouldn't really know any of that information. I would say most likely, I can reach out to former director Kevin Kelly and see if he knew of someone. Councilwoman Darby may be able to reach out to her connects in the area to find out if she knows someone, but I wouldn't know the answer to that particular question.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Ali. Is there anyone else that had questions? Okay, I do have someone in the panel. Oh, I'm sorry, Chief of Staff Washington. Yeah.
Yes, I just want to, I believe she asked a question around renaming of the park.
Mm-hmm.
So that is an extensive process that starts with the planning department and goes through the planning commission. But yeah, they would have to, it's a large, amount of legislation that will have to be passed, and a lot of community input in renaming of a park. So just wanted to state that.
Okay, and that would definitely be something that you would take up with your council person, Ms. Ali. Okay, if there's no one else actually has any questions or statements concerning Eastlake Park, I don't see any hands. Okay, so then we will actually go to the next portion of our agenda. The next presentation, or update rather, will be about Haynes Park. Director Smith, are you ready for Haynes Park's update?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay.
So this is something that was already presented, and I'm basically just reading this with one update. So in terms of Haynes Park, as of today, the Wilmington W has been installed at the corner of West 32nd Street and Miller Road. The renovations for the basketball and tennis court will begin in April. They're out to bid right now. Often we say a completion date, but we're just coming out of COVID. So COVID disrupted a lot of things, and weather affects a lot of things related to construction. So we want to give a date, but just making everyone aware that that could shift and move, right? So we're looking, hopefully that can be done early June, mid-June. The bid documents are being completed for the playground renovation, and construction is likely to begin in May, with the work to be completed in July. And so that is the update for Haynes Park. Once again, Haynes is one of those communities that I had an opportunity to go out and visit with the residents, and sort of want to work on developing that Friends of group as well. And it was a beautiful exchange, and I look forward to being able to come back out there.
Okay. All right. I'm taking questions now. Councilwoman Gray, you have questions for Dr. Smith?
Yes, I have quite a few, so I'm just going to start at the front. When was this meeting? I wasn't present at it, and I was present at all the past 2 or 3 years worth of meetings. So I'd really like to know when you had this meeting with the community.
Yeah, it was my meeting. So I reached out to people in the neighborhood that I knew, and I said, hey, how you doing? I'd love to be able to come and hang out with you and see what's going on, and meet some of your neighbors. So it wasn't an official public,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing is the W that has been installed. I gather that was a gift from the city. It wasn't something we requested, but there's been no information about it at all, about the artist, what it's made out of. So I was told that I would get that prior to it being installed, but I didn't get it, and I still haven't gotten it. So I would really like that information, so the community will know what this W is, the artist, materials. That's one. Then the renovations to the basketball court and the tennis court. I have an email here that says November lighting improvements, and someplace here last year the contracts were supposed to be awarded, and you're just talking about, it says awarding contracts now. We're just now getting the contracts to do the playground equipment. You're just sending them out for bid.
Correct.
And can I ask why there's been such a delay of almost a year?
I can't speak to what may have caused delays prior to me, but since I've been here, we've been moving forward on this project and other projects. So we're excited and looking forward to the completion of it, and hoping to have it done relatively soon, so that for part of the summer, the basketball court and tennis courts are out there.
Well, that was supposed to be done by March or April. And I understand, I've heard this comment about the asphalt, but you can pour it in April. We got Washington Street poured in April. And that was supposed to be started in the fall and completed in the spring. And we're just now starting it. And you've been there a year, so you've been working on this for a year, correct?
No, I haven't been here for a year.
Oh, okay. So when did you start with this project? Because I have all these emails, so I don't have a title as to who they came from, but I do have emails that preceded you, I guess.
So I started June 1st. So when I came in, there was conversations about Haynes Park along with several other parks being done. And so, June 1st is when I became aware of the work that we're doing there.
Okay, so let me just say, I have an email here. It says October 21st through November 19th of last year, tennis court and basketball court bids due. Review bids and determine successful vendor. Award bid to successful vendor, process contract. So that was October, November of last year.
Okay, if you wouldn't mind, Councilwoman Gray, it looks like Mr. Smith, Director Smith actually may not have that information, and I do see Chief of Staff's hand up. If I can permit her to answer that question for you.
Thank you. I was reading. I didn't see her hand up. Go ahead.
Okay. Chief of Staff Washington.
Yes, so and Mr. Smith mentioned this in the beginning. In addition to Parks and Recreation going through a transition with different directors, because we had Director Jefferson in there and then Director Smith came in. But more importantly, we were at the time in the midst of a pandemic. And that was very impactful to all of these projects. And I think that Parks and Recs makes every effort to give the best estimate that they can, but situations happen. And so, we are moving forward. He did say that in terms of the tennis courts and the basketball courts, those bids have gone out. And all we can say is that we're going to move forward from this point on. The other thing that I wanted to address is there was a question around the W's. It's not so much of an artist. We have W's that we have installed around the entire city. So that's just another one of the W installations that we're doing in some of the major arteries. So it's not like there's an artist attached to that.
Oh, thank you. I thought there were artists attached to them. So that's what I thought. Different artists did different W's, but okay, thank you. Yeah, this document that I was reading from was sent to me October 1, 2021. So that was in the middle of the pandemic, but I'm glad we're finally moving on. The other thing is I wanted to know what was the surface that you're using or you've put out to bid of the playground equipment? That wasn't in the information I was just sent. What surface is being used?
I don't know the exact name of it, but I can get that for you. It's actually, I can send it to you right after this meeting. It's in an email, so I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you. I guess that's it. And that's April of this year. We expect the basketball and tennis courts to be finished.
That is, our hope is, I said
So
June.
we'll begin in April. We'll begin in April, I see.
Right.
This April, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And hopefully we don't get too much rain and we're able to move forward.
Okay, so I heard before I came that you're offering to come and meet with the community because there is a Friends of Haynes Park Facebook page. So I don't know if they have additional questions or if they may want to meet, but you're willing to do that if they want to get together and meet with you?
Yes, I am willing to meet with any resident who is interested in not only capital projects, but programming going on in the parks. And I encourage everyone to visit the National Recs and Parks Association website to find other things that we can be doing. And I'm looking forward to that partnership.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair. I think that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilman Gray. Councilman Oliver, I see your hand is up.
Yes, no, I just wanted to make a statement. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to thank Director Smith for, I know because of the pandemic, I'm just following up on the whole conversation. Because of the pandemic, I know one of my parks was put on hold, but I was glad he was able to reach out and we are pursuing with the next steps. So I just wanted to thank you for coming out and following up since the pandemic had taken a major taken a major part of the delay for most of these projects. But I just appreciate your staff reaching out and following up. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, and we appreciate you as well.
So thank you very much, Councilman Oliver. Is there any other council people that had any other remarks or questions? Okay, I don't see any. How about anyone who's part of our public? Do you have any comments or questions? Right. So seeing none, thank you very much for giving that update on Haynes Park. I have been hearing about Haynes Park for some time now, so I'm glad that we're finally able to start moving forward. And I do realize that the pandemic actually has been, something that we had to adjust to. But not only that, even materials, any type of materials that needed to be used to build or construct, that's actually been fluctuating as well. So it looks like a lot of things went into play when it came to trying to get things done. So I'm glad that we're ready to start moving forward. I think our very last agenda item is a presentation on the summer youth jobs. Yeah, I'm so happy to hear that this is actually happening. I did see email, but I wanted to make certain that you came out and spoke about it. So if you wouldn't mind giving us more information about that.
All right. Well, the Youth Career Development engages youth ages 14 to 21 in the workforce development, internship opportunity, and career exploration. This includes students working in the 2020 summer employment program and new students interested in an opportunity to shape and sharpen their skills and earn real world experience. The overall goal of the program is to support youth entering and continuing in the workforce development. This is accomplished by servicing the whole student. Youth are provided advocacy, employment, and career explorations. The timeline that we have for the program, registration began February 14th. It will close March 31st. So encouraging everyone that is interested in working, please go to the city's website to complete your application. The application process and interview will be April 1st through May 13th. And the orientation for workers 1 and 2 and career readiness orientation, virtual and in-person, will be between June 13th and June 24th. And June 20th, the summer program begins. August 19th is our last day of work. We have about 8 youth who will serve as counselors to 350 youth in the program. In terms of payment, children will be receiving their payment through direct deposit. And that's pretty much it. There's more I could go into the hiring process, but the typical stuff, birth certificate, social security card, proof of income, proof of residency, bank account required. Those are things further down in the process, but we're very excited about the workforce development. And in particular, when I came on, I met the youth that were involved in green jobs, and just being a grandson of farmers, it's just really cool to see city kids involved in that. And how do we expose our children to natural foods, natural ways of living? So I'm excited about the green jobs. But yeah, that is our summer youth program. A couple of facts. If there's any questions, hopefully I can answer them.
Okay. Actually, before I get to you, Councilwoman Darby, I did have one question for you, Director Smith. You said go to the city website. Is there a special website, or is it going to be the one that's wilmingtonde.gov?
So it's actually going to be wilmingtonyouthjobs.com. And there's probably a link to it on the website, our city website, but the actual account is wilmingtonyouthjobs.com. Youth will be prompted to confirm an account via email. The youth will submit their information in the portal, given within 2 to 3 weeks to submit eligibility documentation, and the office will contact the applicant to schedule an interview after that.
Okay. I did try my best to type it really quickly into our chat so that you would know exactly which website he is referring to. I do have one person who has their hand up at the moment. Councilman Darby, you have a question or comment?
Yes, I have a specific question about the Newcastle County youth slots for our summer youth. I checked on the Newcastle County website and I see that they don't accept Wilmington youth. So I was wondering, why does the city accept Newcastle County? Why do we give slots to Newcastle County? Like, what's the purpose and how many?
Well, I believe the number is 50. I'll confirm that for you. I will say, I'm not sure of what the history of it is, but being a person that works with youth that are involved with certain levels of violence, friends cross lines. And so it is helpful sometimes to be able to provide jobs for people who are slightly over the line, because that could mean a kid in the city is going to decide to work. That would be just my own pitch. I don't know what the official was when it was originally put down. I don't know. Deputy Jefferson he says is a part of the grant. So, and we will confirm that. But philosophically, that's why I think we should do it. He said it's part of the grant, and we can confirm that for you.
May I follow up?
Yes, you may.
Yeah, when you say it's a part of the grant, specifically, can you further explain that for the public and what you're talking about? Because really, like, people's thoughts on like why or opinions, but I'm trying to get like the reason why it's done. So like, if you can explain the grant piece, that would be good.
Okay, I will definitely get back to you, because I would not want to say something that is not specifically written in the grant. And then so I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, Councilman. Yeah, okay, Councilman Darby. So he's gonna get back with you offline about the details of the grant. As a council person for the 6th district, I would like to make you aware that I actually am on the board. So there are lots of people that are considered Newcastle County that are just right outside, literally like one house away from my borders. And these people are coming to me because they believe that I am actually their council person. And it's still considered Wilmington. So I can kind of understand why I wouldn't want to deny a child from one household to the next, and they're actually living on the same block. So I can honestly see why that happens, but I would like to definitely get more information. So if you, Director Smith, the information that you like to gather for Councilman Darby, if you can share that with the rest of the council as well. Okay.
Yes, I will, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Are there any other questions that we have about the summer youth program? Okay. Well, I just want to, okay. Councilman Mills.
Yes, thank you. Director Smith, quick question. In reference to from the application time to the interview, do we have a timeline for that in reference to what the wait period will be?
First of all, congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you, sir.
And so if I understand correctly, you said the time period between the application and the interviews? Is that
correct? Yes, sir.
Okay, so that whole section begins April 1st to May 13th.
So all the kids that do applications between then will be interviewed before that time?
That's correct. So May 14th, registration opens. March 31st, registration closes. April 1st, application processing and interviews between April 1st and May 13th. And then selections will be made June 13th to June 24th. It will be the virtual and in-person orientations.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, thank you very much, Councilman Mills. I actually did have a question. So 358, or is it 350? And 8 of those are going to be counselors?
350 and 8 will serve as counselors.
And you'll manage to get through 350 interviews in those 13 days? No, I'm sorry. No, it's not 13 days. It's actually a little over a month.
So
okay.
I will tell you that Dr. Adams, and I'm not sure if she's been referred to in an official capacity, but she's no longer Miss Adams, it's Dr. Adams, Nicole Adams.
Oh.
And she and her team work hard to make it all happen. They will work hard to make it happen during that time. And she would appreciate if I don't throw anything else on her desk during that time.
I understand. Congratulations to Nicole. Well, Dr. Adams. Okay, so I think that I don't really have much more to say about the summer youth program. Oh, also, yes.
Parsa, if I may. So the 50 slots that are available for Newcastle County youth comes from a grant from Newcastle County.
Oh, okay. Does Councilwoman Darby, does that answer your question? Or does he still need to actually send more information out?
And they also hire our kids as well.
Okay, so actually, the only thing that I was looking for is I did not get a chance to see a flyer. I did hope I did not overlook it. But if I have overlooked it, if you can email it to us so that we can share that information. If not, please create a flyer so we can make certain that the residents of Wilmington are aware that it's that time of year again.
Oh, definitely, definitely. There is one available, and I'll make sure that you guys have access to it.
Okay, thank you so much. So if there are no other questions, oh, I do have another. All right, Councilwoman Darby.
Yeah, I was trying to speak and then I think I was spoken over, but
Okay.
yeah, so no, I would just want to say that's good to know. If I could just get a copy of the I would like a copy of the grant to review it myself. And that was all I was really going to say, but I was cut off. But thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I did hear you got muted or something. But okay. So you do have that information, Director Smith. We do still need it.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. All right. So if there are no other questions from my council colleagues or from the public, I just would like to thank you very much for all coming out to the Education to Families. I would also like to thank you, Director Smith, for stating it, but also like to congratulate Councilman Mills. I believe this is actually, hold up. No, he may have went to the last committee meeting, but this is the first committee meeting for Education to Families. So welcome. And I just would like to hope that everyone will come out for next month. We do, unfortunately, there was a mishap last council meeting, and we will have to have another meeting for that ordinance. I'm sorry, for that contract rather. So, all right, so other than that, I think I don't have anything else that we need to present. And if I can just adjourn this meeting, can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
All right. Thank you so much. So we will be adjourning this meeting. Thank you so much for joining us, Wilmington, and you have a great evening. Everyone, have a good night.